Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew, but in this particular tutorial I'll be showing you part one of it. So for this tutorial and for the neckline, I'll be using stay. I'll be using this art stay. For this tutorial, all you need to do is to fold your stay for the neckline rather. So all you need to do is to fold your fabric as shown, just the way I fold it here. Just fold your fabric as shown, and I will tell you something in this tutorial, which is if you are cutting this particular style, I will advise you to make sure that the neckline is not too wide. So that's why I'm using 3.5 for the neckline, 3.5 by 3.5, 3.5 by 3.5. That is what I'm using for this tutorial, 3.5 by 3.5, because I don't want the necklines to be too wide. So I just have to cut the neckline a little bit smaller. So after you mark out your 3.5 by 3.5, after you are done marking that, the next thing you need to mark is to mark from that point, mark out your 4 inches all round. Mark your 4 inches all round. Then after marking it, connect the lines. Connect the line as shown. Then after that, we are going to cut it out now. We are going to cut it out. And after we cut it out, the next thing we are going to do, but first of all, let's cut it out. So this is it. After cutting it out, this is what you are going to get. I will advise you that when you want to make yours, don't use stay, in the sense that by the time you want to remove the stay from the design you make, it's not that easy to remove. So I will advise you to use brown paper or white paper, either of the two. So let's put that aside and cut the pieces that we're going to be using for the design. So for the design, you are going to cut out 3 by 3, 3 by 3 for the design. So to cut that out, cut out your 3 by 3 out. So after you are done with your 3 by 3, the next thing you need to do is to mark out half inches from the upper part and half inches as well from the down part, so that you will know where you are making, what you are making, where you are stopping it. So mark out your half inch all round. So after you are done marking your half inches, then you do this one after the other, round it like this. So after you are done with that, the next thing you are going to do is to start placing this same paper in the middle of each one, just the way I'm doing it here. So that's how you're going to do that all through till you finish it. So we are going to put this aside till we will now need it. So that is that about that. So the next thing we are going to do now, so the first thing we are going to do is to fold our fabric. Can you see? Fold your fabric into four as shown. This place must not have cut when you are folding it. So because it's a cut together with sleeve style we are cutting. So you fold your fabric. After folding your fabric as shown, just the way we fold it here right now, the next thing we are going to do is to measure out the length measurements, is to measure out the person length measurements. So our length measurement is 56. Length measurement is 56. So I'm going to plus 2 inches or 1 inches for folding at the down part, because since you are not going to be joining the shoulder, you don't need to add the joining for the shoulder as well. So you just add the folding at the down part. That is the first thing you need to do. Measure out the person length measurement, and I'm going to rule it out now. So I'm just ruling it out right now. So I rule out the normal measurements and the sewing allowance. So I decide to rule the two both out now. So after ruling it out, since it's a cut together, you don't need to measure out the person's shoulder measurements. No need to measure out the shoulder measurements. At the same time, in this particular style we are making, you don't need to cut out the neckline. Don't cut the neckline out right now at all. Don't touch the neckline. The only thing you need to do is to cut out the body measurements. Let's cut the body measurements and leave it first. So for the sleeve bend, depending on how much you want to use, you can decide anything you want, but for this one I use 11 inches for the sleeve bend. I use 11 inches. Then everything I have here on fold is 20 from the neckline. From here, everything I have here is 20 something, but I will need just 18. I will need 18 from the folding here to this sleeve place. I will need 18 because I'm still going to add some pieces of design at the sleeve. So I just mark out the 18. I just mark out my 18 inches from here. 18 inches. So if I decide to cut it out like this is wasting of fabric. This is, if I decide to cut this place out now, that means I waste the fabric. Instead of me to waste this fabric, the best thing to do is to refold this cloth. I'm going to refold it now. So I just refold it instead of me to waste the fabric. So let's first cut out the excess now. So if I decide to cut it out the other way around, that is wasting of fabric. This fabric that would have been wasted out, I can still use it to do something. So I just mark out the 18 inches that I need. Then I cut this one out in one piece. So I just cut it out in one piece now. So then I'm going to cut out the length of the gown as well. I'm going to cut the length of the gown as well. So this is what we have now. So everything on fold now is 18 inches. Everything on fold now is it. So it is now that I will not start taking the measurement. I already mark out 11 inches for the sleeve circumference. I already mark out the 11 inches for the sleeve circumference. After doing that, then I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut the fabric out. So after you are done cutting the fabric out, like I said earlier, just fold this aside, fold it aside. Don't touch the neckline yet. I'll be showing you guys how to go about the neckline. So let's just fold this and put it aside. Now this is another plain fabric. What you need to do, can you see the way I fold the fabric? Just fold the fabric in bias shape like this. Let me fold it for you to see. Then cut it out. After doing it like this, cut it out as shown. Yes, cut it out as shown. After you cut it out, the next thing you need to do is to take your ruler. This ruler that is in my hand now, the ruler is just 1 inches. Measure out the ruler is 1 inches. So what we are cutting out is just 1 inches. So the ruler is okay for what we are doing. So you are going to find your chalk and mark out 1 inches all through. Then you start cutting it out. Now you are going to need as many as possible of this. You are going to need many. That is, you are going to need plenty of this. So you cut it out. Take the remaining fabric from the one we cut earlier. This is the remaining one after doing the shaping. So exactly where you do the shaping, don't forget. That's because you need it in bias form like this. So all you need to do is to rule as many as possible and cut this out as many as possible. So the next thing we are going to do now is so this is it. These are the ones I cut. I'm still going to cut many of it. So take it to the machine just the way I am now. I'm going to measure it for you to see again. This is 1 inches. This is 1 inches. So all you need to do is to fold it into two, just the way I fold it, and place it on your machine. Place it on the machine and stitch it straight down. So the next thing we are going to do after you are done stitching it like this is to find anything tiny. So here I'm going to be using this broom. Because if you use anything too thick, it might not be that easy for you. So just pull this inside so that you'll be able to like pull it outside. So just watch how I'm doing it. That's how you are going to do all this thing. You are going to do it one after the other. After you are done pulling it outside like this, you will now take it to the ironing table and iron it one after the other. You are going to iron everything one after the other. You iron it out. Can you see? So you take it to the iron table, you turn everything and iron it one after the other. So after you are done with that, you do that down. Then the next thing we are going to do now is to do the neckline. So here is our neckline that we already mark out. We already marked this out. So the next thing we are going to do now is to start fixing our design on it one after the other. We are going to fix it. I already ironed it like I said earlier in the tutorial. So we're going to start fixing it one after the other. But to fix this, let me explain this carefully. Before you start to fix it, I will advise you mark out the starting point. It has a starting point in the sense that you are going to start from, when we went to do this thing, we first do one piece. So this is how you are going to continue doing it until you finish everything one after the other. So let's continue and see how it goes. In the part 2 of this tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to fix it with the neckline and how it's going to be. See you guys in my next tutorial. God bless you. And this is it after everything, after doing it. This is what we got. So I'm going to be showing you how you're going to fix it on your fabric in my next tutorial. Thanks for watching the channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like this particular video. See you guys. Bye. So here is the sleeve that I already make, and this is the neckline as well. Can you see that? I would advise that when you want to make your own, don't use stay, because by the time I want to remove the stay, it wasn't that easy for me to remove. So I would advise that you use brown paper. I think brown paper will be better. So this is here is the for the neckline and for the sleeve as well. Let me show you the down part so that before we start to cut the neckline now. The next thing we are going to do, let's put this aside and let's cut the neck out now. This is how you are going to go about cutting of the neckline. You know, we already cut this fabric in the beginning of this tutorial. So, and I said we should put that aside. Now, fold your pattern that you already make. Fold it and put it as shown, just the way I'm putting it right now. Put it as shown. And after putting it like this, make sure that it's aligned together with the fabric. Don't shock it at this side because you don't need to cut that place out. So just mark it out as shown here. Mark it out as shown. After marking it out, the next thing you are going to do is that we are going to come in with 1 inch at this part. You come in with 1 inch all through. Yes, you mark your 1 inch out. After marking it out, first of all, mark it out and cut it at this exact place that you mark new 1 inch. That's where you're going to cut it out. Can you see that? So let's cut it now. So after cutting it out, the next thing you are going to do is to size it with the pattern paper that you used to cut it. You're going to size it. If possible, I will tell you to use pin to pin it, but only looking at it you will see that I think it's not enough. But before I conclude, I'm going to open it just the way I open it now and put it on top of it just to confirm what I need to confirm, because I've made this tie. I've made like 3 or 4 of this tie, and what I notice is that when you cut the exact thing that you cut out here, it will be the main fabric will be excess. The main fabric, I mean the main body, it will be excess for the neckline. So that's why when you are cutting, don't cut exactly you cut out from the fabric, especially if the material is stretchy. If the material is a little bit stretchy, but this one now, it is not stretchy, it's a Kampala. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to mark new 1/2 inch in. Just watch how I'm going to do that. I'm going to mark 1/2 inch now. From here, from this place that I cut it, I'll mark new 1/2 inch all round and cut it. So that's what I'm going to use. Now, using this 1/2 inch now, by the time I pin it, it's going to give me exact thing that is on the neckline. Now, back to the length of the thing. Initially, I supposed to, because I'm going to be putting another material at the down part, I supposed to cut out this, the one I'm going to be putting, which is 16 inches. I supposed to remove 15 inches. I'm supposed to remove it from the main body, but I've forgotten. So now I'm going to cut it out now. I have to cut the 15 inches out from the main body because I'm going to be using the design at the down parts for the to complete the length of the fabric. So that's why I'm cutting this out. So I'm going to cut it out now. After cutting it out, then I will now use my pin to pin the neckline. Now let's do it and see how it is. So after fixing it, it was exact the same thing. So I'll be showing you how to sew it and how to do the finishing in the sewing tutorial. Can you see? This is it. Very lovely. So I'll be showing you how to sew it in the sewing tutorial and how to join the sleeve, how to join the down part. So, and after sewing it, this is how it's going to look like. Let me show you the finished look of it. This is how it's going to, this is the down part that I was talking about earlier. Here is the down part. And this is the neckline. This is the sleeve of it as well. So see you guys in the sewing tutorial. Thanks for watching the channel. God bless you. Bye.